What up, what up, what up, man? Give me a Lima Charlie if you guys can hear me loud and clear. Hopefully y'all had a good day, man. I am sitting here making some stuff happen, and I thought to myself, man, let us go ahead and do some damn late night editing. And while doing that late night editing, might as well show you kind of the flow of how you do an EDC, you know what I'm saying? EDC talking head workflow edit. I already got a lot of editing to do. I was gonna make this members only. I said, I'll just give folks the opportunity to just dive in and kind of see what the damn deal is real quick. And you're more than welcome to pop in, ask questions. You know what I'm saying? As I know, a lot of folks are creators themselves and they do this type of stuff all the time. So why not make this stuff happen? What up, man? Of course, we got Mike and Ike EDC, man. What up, man? Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being a goddamn member. We appreciate that shit, man. Ironside is here as well, sir. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for being a goddamn member. It's just a nice mix of folks in here. It is an interesting day, man. The day has come to a conclusion. I want to drop a video tomorrow afternoon. So I'm gonna start editing this today. I don't know if I'll finish. Appreciate the Lima Charlie confirmation. Redskin Faithful is here as well. What up, man? So there's a link in the description. If you want to call in and ask questions, shoot the shit, you can click that link. You'll call right in here. I'll throw you on the screen. We can make that shit happen. So we got that going. Let's see what else we got going on here. We got shit. Let me see. I need to share my screen. So the video I'm dropping tomorrow, is basically called de-influencing. De-influencing, meaning, what stuff in the EDC community needs to be de-influenced. Like, you don't have to stop carrying this shit. You can still carry it if you see fit, right? You can still carry the shit if you see fit. But overall, I just kind of want to make it so that, you don't feel pressure to have to carry the shit. It's not a requirement that you carry the shit. And so I'll just kind of give you my flow, man, and just talk about what we got going on. So my day for carry is basically over. I don't have a lot of shit left on the carry menu. It's almost unfreaking believable. So all I got left is this little, this tiny EDC knife that is almost always in my pocket. Just has a number 11 X-Acto blade in it, hobby blade in it, fucking sharp as shit. Mainly because I change the blade out like once a month. I don't have to. And I use this mainly, tomorrow's trash day, so I had to freaking go through and take care of trash and shit like that. Later on, I'll be in full creeper mode, so I need to get from here to the actual nightstand next to the wife and be in creeper status. So I like to carry the Rook with me, the Bolt Steed collaboration with Raylight. The Rook, this gets down to 1 lumen, which is perfect for walking in at night. And the only other thing I kind of keep on the desk at all time is the Victorinox Huntsman, because I do like to have the scissors available at all times just in case. Now I normally edit, my edit flow is normally pretty smooth. Let me get this here. Let's see, let me change this so that you can see Final Cut Pro. So I edit with Final Cut Pro. Let me throw myself on the screen so you guys can see me as well. So basically the way my flow kind of goes is I film a video, I get it all into my software, and then once I have it all in there, I kind of decide like exactly what do I want, how do I want to put this all together. And I'll just kind of show you like how I do editing. You can do it how you want to do. You don't have to do the same shit I do, man. Just maybe to give you some insight if you're thinking about starting this type of shit, or you're wondering how I do the editing and all that type of stuff. So why the fuck not, right? Why not? Why am I freaking covered? Freaking dirtbag. Put me on the screen. All right, so get everything into get everything into Final Cut Pro and kind of just go from there. Mike and Ike's EDCs, do you like that blade better than the Prybred X? No, they're like neck and neck. They're like neck and neck. This blade, they're both about the same amount of time to switch the blade out. I would just say that the reason I like this one so much is because it's so incredibly small. Like, this thing is so small that I think it's smaller than the length of my pinky finger. The Prybred X I like as well, but it has that lanyard that's built into it. Like it comes with the lanyard. And sometimes that gets on my nerves, but you need the lanyard because it doesn't have a pocket clip. This little blade has a pocket clip, and so it kind of just makes a lot of sense. So if all that good stuff. So tomorrow I'm going to be talking about de-influencing type stuff. And so let me just jump in here and start this stuff up. So what I normally do is I get the footage in, and I film in what is called S-Log3. So my Sony cameras, basically I film with my body, everything basically completely whitewashed, washed out. Let me turn this damn other mouse off. It's gonna freaking get on my nerves. All right, so I film with everything off. So basically once I get the footage into the to Final Cut Pro, I need to bring the colors back. So normally I have LUTs already saved in here. I just figure out which one I like. I usually come here, I'll throw that one on. That kind of looks pretty good. Or I will throw on, I kind of like that one a little bit better. It's a little bit more moody. That one's brighter. This one's a little bit more moody. So I normally would throw on find one that I like and then kind of go by from there as well. Stopping by to say hi, what's up, but I gotta get to sleep. Yeah, man, appreciate you kicking the door, and I'm just doing a little bit of editing. You can always watch this on the replay. So once I kind of bring the colors back, I just got to make sure the audio sounding cool. So I normally would just go through
yourself. This would be significant.
Okay, so I see the audio is only coming out of one channel. So I normally will go over here and just throw it on dual channel.
If I had my...
Okay, so that is coming through. Seems to be sounding.
Maybe you just want...
Yeah, that seems to be sounding fine. So normally once I get that going, I will come in here, throw it in here. And now from here, I need to decide, how am I going to be approaching this? You know, how am I going to be approaching this actual video? Am I going to start it off stagnant like this and maybe drop some music on top, or am I just going to jump right into it? I think because this is mostly a talking head, I think I'm just going to kind of jump right into it. So I'm going to start off with, let's see. I'm basically going to start off with me walking up, and I'll throw a title screen on there. So I don't want too long of a static shot because I don't want people to leave the video. So I'll probably cut it right here, drop this off, and let's see. That seems to be okay, but let me see. So we will probably do this. We'll bring this in. Let's do a little bit more, about 3 seconds. 1, 2, that's fine. All right, so we'll do about 2 seconds of a static shot so that you can read the flags that are hanging up into my man cave, and then I'll show myself sitting down and sparking the cigar, but I'll show myself sparking the cigar with the title screen over my face. And then I want to kind of drop some music on top of that, just so I kind of see, like, all right, well, what music do I want to have for this? Like, what am I feeling? So I normally would just kind of go through and see what have I downloaded lately. I think I kind of like the way that sounds. So I normally would kind of go through and just play different tracks just to kind of see. No, that's not. I'm kind of feeling that a little bit. So I normally we just kind of play different tracks just to figure out exactly what do I want to have vibing out before I get started. I think I want to go with the track I just had on there. So I'll pull that up and throw this track on here. And from here, I got to decide what title screen to throw on here, which is my normal title screen with just the X across my face, because obviously Marine X on the channel. So I'll take both of those here. So now I kind of have like the makings of an intro. Now the music is too loud, so I'll bring that down a little bit as well. It says, does the Final Cut Pro come with music, or do you have to import the music? So I use music from Epidemic Sound. I use music from Epidemic Sound. It's like $15 a month. But the thing I like about it is you can use it on all platforms. I also do some work for some, I do some commercial work, not a lot. Like I filmed a couple of commercials for like my daughter's cheerleading gym and shit like that. And all that music they can use on their Facebook and Instagram, and it won't be copywritten. So I usually just, what I normally do is I'll download music into Ecamm Live and kind of just leave it so people can just decide on exactly, over time I can listen to different tracks and see what I like. Now that's too loud for somebody that might have headphones on YouTube. So I usually would drop the decibels a little bit. Okay, so that's not horrible. So I think I'll bump it up a little bit to like maybe 10. And then from here, so you got a few seconds of a static shot, and then I sit down, and at the same time my face is over there, which is how I want it. and then I'll come over here and mess with the title screen a little bit. So this is let's see, EDC D influencing. I don't even know if that's a real word. It's some shit I'm making up. Influencing on here, and then I'll usually will make the font a little bit bigger, and I usually don't want the actual, yeah, so I kind of want it about that size. So I'll come here and so let's just see how it's coming together. All right, so normally, let's see, we'll do a little bit, we'll do that, and then what I'll do is I will purposely cut the track and then bring it in where I start talking. So I'm talking about de-influencing different things in the EDC community. I just don't think are 100% necessary. So normally what I'll do is, I know that I don't want the music to overshadow my voice, so I'll zoom out a little bit and see where does my voice begin to talk. I know, let's bring this back up a little bit. All right, so I begin talking right here. All right, so obviously the music is too loud, so I'll come here and I'll do what's called a speed ramp, and all I'm basically doing is it's called ducking. So basically all I'm gonna do is come here and I'll leave the music where it is, and right after the title screen I want the music to lower by itself. So I'll just normally will drop the music down to about negative 35 dB or so. So I'll leave this here, and then from here I want the music to drop down to about negative 35 dB. That way people that are listening, they can still kind of hear the music, but at the same time we can start it'll start up, and you'll be able to hear exactly what I'm saying. So we'll cut all this out. I'll purposely allow the title to start up to continue while I'm talking, and we'll bring me up right until I begin the clip. So if we go here, I can see my audio levels on the far right of the screen. Actually, you guys can't see it, but on the very far right of the screen there's my audio levels, and I'm just trying to see, you know, when do I begin to clip. Let me move this out the way, and I can kind of see, like, okay, I want to talk just to make sure I can hear myself, and let me duck the music down faster.
What's going on, YouTube? Marine X back at it again.
That's too low. I'll bring myself up.
De-influencing. This is something I talked about in the past. I'll link up previous videos when I basically just kind of poo-pooed some of your favorite items, and this is just more stuff.
And we'll keep bringing me up a little bit.
Everybody seems to be an
all right, so what I'll normally do is, so now that I kind of know that, I want to drop off. So I film, obviously the microphone is very close to my mouth, but I still want to kind of get rid of some of the humming noise. It's just naturally, my man cave's in a garage, so my garage is naturally echoey. So I normally would drop a little bit of a EQ on it, and I need to edit the EQ a little bit. So I normally will come here, and I'll come here, and any noise that's lower than this 75 hertz, I'll drop that out, and any noise that's higher than this, I'll drop that out, and then I'll just play it again.
What's going on, YouTube? Marine X back
and
again.
I might bump up
about de-influencing. This is something I talked about in the past. I'll link up previous videos when I basically just kind of.
All right, so now I have that set up, so where basically the noise is set up. I'll also throw a what up Grid. We're just doing some Gridiron fan. We're just sitting here doing some late night talking head EDC editing. So basically, so from here I'll come through and I see yellow on the timeline, and I'll zoom in a little bit. If you see this yellow, that's where I might clip a little bit, and I don't want the person that might be wearing headphones or YouTube for me to blow their ears out. So I'm gonna throw with something on here called a limiter, which is gonna limit the volume to go no higher than -1 dB. So once I've done all of that, I know that the sound is gonna be basically appropriate for YouTube. I might do some final edits once I get it all chopped up. But once I have that set up, I basically go through here, and I want to just go and do my first rough cut of the entire my first rough cut of the entire video. So I come
What's
here.
going on, YouTube? Marine X back at it again. Let's talk about de-influencing. This This is something I talked about in the past. I'll link up previous videos when I basically just kind of poo-pooed some of your favorite items, and this is just more stuff added to the list. Everybody seems to be an influencer nowadays. Some stuff has reached max peak influence. Like, I guess myself would be considered an influencer, but some of the stuff you just don't need.
So normally what I'll do is I can go through this entire edit and I can listen to myself like I just did for that first 30 seconds, but I normally don't do that. I normally can just go through here and get rid of all this dead air, because that's either A, where I'm breathing, or I'm not saying anything. So I can normally just make generally a few cuts. I may not get rid of all of them, but I'm just trying to make the video a little bit more cohesive. So I'll go through and I'll do a bunch of first rough cuts where I'm getting anywhere I'm breathing, anywhere where I may be taking thoughts. And I also have some notes in front of me for items that I want to talk about. So, and I want to try to get rid of ums and huns and all that type of shit. So I go through.
If you want the stuff, get the stuff.
So that there, I know I want to get rid of that pause. And I also tend to smack my lips a lot. So I know I normally can see that.
Get the stuff.
And I'll try to get rid of all that type of stuff as well. So I'll go through, I'll do that first edit. Now the next thing I want to do, and I'm just kind of showing y'all how I go through the process. So I'm going to get rid of all the smacking sounds and all that type of stuff. But I also want to kind of think about, how am I going to show the items that I'm talking about getting rid of? Now I could just sit here and talk for, I think this video is probably going to be around 8 or 9 minutes. I could sit here and talk, or I can do some things where I might decide to drop some photos on top of myself. So I might come here,
go pound sand. But other than that,
and I could do something like this where I'll come here and I'll drop a photo of the items I want to get rid of. So I'll show you what I'm going to do here in a second. So first, let's jump to the first item I'm talking about and see if I can do something with the title screen.
Titanium everything.
So we'll come here. So I purposely did a pause there, and I paused in the video for a couple of reasons. Either A, I'm going to immediately start talking about the next item, or B, I might want to do a black screen and bring the music back up and talk about the first item. So this is what I did while filming.
The
so while
first
filming,
thing that I would have to mention hands down would be titanium everything.
So there I could take a pause, and at this point I could decide, okay, how do I want to show this to the viewer so that they can really I can emphasize that I'm talking about titanium everything. I got a couple of ways I can do that. I can either A, just start talking about titanium everything, or B, I can do something like drop a design or something on top. So I might decide I'm going to drop a design on top, and I might want that to be only 2 or 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, that should be fine. So I'll come through here, and from here, what I'll do is I'll shorten this up, take this clip, I'll disable it. Now the screen is black, and I'll take this first title screen, and I will type the word titanium everything. Since the first point I'm talking about is titanium, right? I know I misspell everything, guys, so just, it is what it is. Wait, hold on. You guys can spell check me in real time. Spell check me in real time. It's okay. So anyway, so first thing I want to do is talk about, hey, so let's talk about getting rid of titanium everything. Everything doesn't need to be titanium in order for us to be able to be functional. So, hold on. Am I spelling this correctly? Do I have that spelled correctly, chat? Let me know. All right, so I got titanium, and then underneath I'll put everything, right? Now that's bleeding outside of the box. I might decide to keep that there. I'll get rid of the word clean and elegant. And so what I normally would do also is ramp the music back up. So I want to, while this is playing, I don't want it to be I want to purposely bring the music back up so that while this title screen is playing, we'll go to full volume just for this little bit of title, and then we'll go back to me talking. So I'll show you what that's going to look like.
Now, don't get it twisted.
All right, so what we'll do, let's get rid of this. All right, so we'll come here. All right, so what my goal is right now, TI everything. Yeah, I might do that too. Yeah, because I know in the EDC where everybody likes T, Well, you know what? I might even leave it titanium everything because yeah, I'll just do TI everything. That's a good idea. All right, so we'll do TI everything, right? All right, so now I'll just see how I feel about it. Is the music raising like I want it to? Let's just check it out.
Would be titanium everything. Now
I don't like how short that was. I think I want it to be 4 seconds. You didn't really get an opportunity to read those words, so we'll do 4 seconds. TI in that box that would be taken to table. Okay, that makes sense. So I can do. Oh, okay. So you're saying just put TI in that box. It would be from the table of elements. Yeah, that actually makes sense. So I'll do TI in the box, big T, lowercase I, and then I'll bring these words back and I'll put titanium everything in these words. All right, so now I've kind of changed it up a little bit. I'm gonna bring this a little bit more dead air, and I need to bring the music over a little bit longer, and I want the music to ramp down. So now I'll just see what it looks like.
Everything. Now, don't get it twisted. I sell a titanium.
All right, so now I like the way the music ramped up by itself. And now this part here, I'm not really a big fan of how it flowed into the word titanium everything. So we'll kind of take a look at that.
Titanium everything.
So I might just get rid of that little bit of pause between everything, and maybe start ramping the music up a little bit faster. And all right, so now I kind of have
Would be titanium everything. Now,
I'm still not a fan of how short. I think I might make it go 5 seconds. It's a little long in a YouTube video, but I kind of want the viewer to get the opportunity to really read that title screen, and so we'll bump this over. Let's see. Tater Don, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being a goddamn member. Birdman as well. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for being a goddamn member. We're just doing some late night editing, man. Tomorrow we're doing dropping a video talk about de-influencing shit that you don't need in EDC. You can carry it, but so let's just see how this. So I'll go through and get rid of the rest of these cuts here in a second. But let's just see how this ramps up.
Titanium everything. Now, don't get it twisted. I sell a titanium whistle on my website. I carried a titanium knife last week. I got titanium shit. What I mean by de-influencing it is like, I don't feel the need to not only carry the crap, but take the most beautiful, perfect photo, get that thing on.
All right, so now what I want to do is, how long do I want to drag this out? I'm describing why I think it needs to be de-influenced. There's a bunch of dead air while I'm breathing. I'm gonna have to cut some of that out, maybe not all of it where it looks too fake. But this effect that I did for this first item, I want to do it all over again. So most likely what I would do, Clay, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being a goddamn member. Most likely what I would do is I will go through and see, when do I do that same effect, and do I just want to copy that over again? Because the next item that I talk about is Knipix pliers, which everybody and their mom seems to put on Instagram nowadays. So while I'm going through and I'm talking about titanium, I don't want it to get stagnant. So what I'll probably end up doing is I will figure out an effect to keep the viewer to stay watching me. So for instance, I'll let's see, if I go forward a little bit.
You yourself may decide to do the same thing. My titanium knife has all sorts of snail trails and usage and has been through all sorts of hell. Anything else that I carry, if it makes a photo, if it makes it something like that, I'm not trying to influence you.
Okay, so now I want to jump and see.
Titanium is tough. The reason that the industry has shifted.
All right, so from here, I want to start to put some photos. Dr. Breezy, thanks for stopping by. Saying what up, Battalion as well. What up, man? Thank you for kicking the goddamn door in. So what I want to do is kind of like, while I'm talking, because this is a talking head video, I'm not going to be really showing stuff. So I got to think about, what am I going to do in order to try to keep the viewer watching the video. So most likely what I'll do is I'll throw this on here, and I will, let's get rid of the word, I don't need the word clean, and I don't need the word subscribe to my channel. So this word that says logo, I'm gonna go to Chrome and I'm gonna download a photo of titanium, some titanium knives, and I'll just keep a few of them on deck. See, titanium pocket knife. So what I'll go on is I'll download some images, and then I'll just think about, especially some of them that are just too fucking expensive. And I'll just kind of think about, well, what do I want to do in regards to some titanium photos? So we will go through and actually, my bad, I made that too small for you guys. Hold on. Let me change this to share my entire screen. All right, so right now I have Google Chrome pulled up, and I'm just gonna find some photos of some titanium knives to kind of take a look at. Mikey Daily Care, thanks for stopping by. Sir, thanks for being a goddamn member. Stopping by, gotta hit some sheets. Yeah, I gotta go to sleep as well too, but you know, sometimes when you're creating, man, you just gotta make some shit happen. So like, all right, so what photos do I want to grab for some titanium crap? Obviously I know I can get different super popular stuff, whether it be Chavez or James Brand or CRK, etc., etc. But I just want to take some like photos of titanium knives. So this one looks pretty dope, but that's white. Do I want a white background? I guess we will not delay the inevitable. So we'll download some photos. So we'll save this image, and we will save everybody heading to bed. I just woke up for work, but I'll be on here for a few more minutes, and it's 8 a.m. where Dr. Breezy is. I get it. So we got that one. I know James Brand is freaking out of this world expensive. I might even download their freaking, so we'll save that image as well. We'll go to, let's see. We can also put in CRK titanium knives. So we can come here. Of course, we have, is the Sabenza made of titanium, guys? Well, I know we can do this one here. So we'll download this photo. So the reason I'm downloading these photos is just to kind of have a little bit different look to this thing. So what I'll do now is I'll drop some of these photos into my timeline. So I come here and I decide, okay, I just downloaded some photos. Let me get them into the timeline and decide which ones I'm going to use. Throw them in here. All right, so now I'm like, all right, I'm talking about titanium stuff. I need to get some titanium photos over here. So I'll go here, maybe grab this photo. And let's see. So we'll come here. We'll click this. We'll grab this photo. We'll do I need an additional color? I don't think so. Additional color off. And then we'll make it a little bit bigger. And then we might have to move it. But let's just see what it looks like. So while I'm talking, pictures of knives should pop up next to me.
If it makes a photo, if it makes it something like that, I'm not trying to
So what I'll do is, I don't know if I like the way that popped in. It took a little bit too long. But what I'll do is now I have the opportunity to just talk about some stuff. I moved the photo a little bit away from my face. But I'm going to do this multiple times throughout while I'm talking about some of this stuff. Now, one thing I also want to do is, so while I'm talking,
anything else that I carry, if it makes a photo, if it
so now it'll start showing different knives as I go through the content. So for instance, I'll come here, I may chop this, and then for this one, I'll delete this and change the photo to something else, so that the viewer just kind of sees the photo changing while I'm talking.
If it makes a photo, if it makes it something like that, I'm not.
Now, instead of allowing that to pop away, I will turn the animation off, and then what I'll do is I'll drop this right on top of the animation, so that I will never zoom out. So I'll go here.
If it makes a photo, if it makes it something like that,
and then I'll move it over a little bit more so it's not so jumpy.
If it makes a photo, if it makes it something like that.
All right, so I'll fix the way that looks when it comes to jumpiness, but the next thing I kind of want to do is I want to get a popping sound, right? Because I'm all of a sudden putting in a little bit of I'm putting in some pictures. So what I normally would do is just kind of go through, do I have a sound of popping of anything already located in my sound bank? So I normally would just come in and see, okay, do I already have a popping sound? I can't remember. So I'll just go here and look for the word pop, not poop. Let's go pop. And I don't remember if I have a popping sound. Is it suction pop? I think this is it. All right, so we'll go to suction pop. We'll throw this directly in the timeline. So what we'll do now is I'll see if I can take this sound, and I don't want it to be too loud, but I want it to, at the same time when the pictures pop up, the actual popping sound should go. So I'll do something like this.
If it makes a photo. All
right, so now I have the popping sound. It starts at the same time. And what I might end up doing is not even transitioning photos. I might just let that one live on its own, and I'll still let it transition out. So now as it goes,
else that I carry, if it makes a photo, if it makes it something like that, I'm not trying to.
Now that's a little bit long, but I'll just do that over and over.
I'm not trying to influence you to make that.
And I'll do the, now no need to reinvent the wheel. The popping sound's a little too loud. I'll kind of want it to be a little bit more muted. So I'll bring the popping sound down to like -8.
If it makes a photo,
all right, so one thing also I'm not a big fan of is that you can see the camera beyond the black screen here. So I'm going to try to transpose that if I can make it a little bit bigger. So here I made it a little bit bigger. Hopefully,
if it makes a photo, if it makes it something like that, I'm not trying to influence you to make that purchase.
Now here I'll take this and kind of just put the popping sound here. Now normally I want the pop to start a little bit before the actual photo pops up. Same thing here is I want to make sure that we have this framing covered my entire camera that's behind me, because I don't want, so we'll come here and we'll do the same thing. Just I want to cover to make sure that the framing covers the camera that's behind me so you can't see it. And the viewer probably wouldn't notice it, but I'll think about it while I'm actually doing it. So I'll bring this a little bit bigger so that this image now takes the entire frame. And then I know I have some dead air here, so I'll just get rid of this dead air while I'm looking at it. And I'll go through later on and get rid of this dead air tomorrow. This video is not going to drop until tomorrow afternoon. So now I can come through and I can see.
A lot of folks that are doing it, I think, are doing it for more of a fad. I get it.
So now I can leave. So throughout this talking head video, I'll have that type of in and out panning of some knives that you may like, some knives you may not like, and then I'll just kind of move on to the next subject. So I know the next topic that I'm doing is, hell, I don't even remember what the next one is Knipex pliers. So with Knipex pliers, I don't want to reinvent this whole logo. So I'm just going to take it, I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to zoom out and try to figure out where do I pause again. This is me getting up to go get a pair of Knipex pliers. And so we go here.
Next on my list for the de-influence, I hope you do this immediately.
So I have to think about, do I want to just show Knipex pliers or do I want to say it? I think I did a two-take, meaning I showed the Knipex pliers and then I thought in my head, how do I want to edit this later? I'm going to have to get rid of all this dead air when I walk and go get the pliers. And then I said the word next twice, so obviously I have to delete that as well. But I'm going to see if I say it. Normally in my head, I think, okay, I said that once. Do I want to keep that or do I want to do a second take? So I'll just kind of come through and do it again.
Knipex pliers.
Now here I can purposely take this. Now this is like a little cheat code that I'll do where I'll take this dead air that I'm already going to have to cut anyway, and I will disable it, and I'll move it to where I just made that cut. So I made the cut right here, so I'll probably sneak it in right there, and then I'll just drop the title screen right back on top of it, delete the rest of that dead air, and see, can I do the same? Now I no longer have music to ramp, so I have to either A, copy this soundtrack again, or B, select the new song. Now sometimes when you make YouTube videos, you can decide you're gonna have the entire video have music on top, which I probably will do for this video. But if you do that, you normally either A, want to change the song up, or B, purposely leave a gap in time where there's no music. So for here, I came here, I know I need to delete this out. Actually, my phone is playing. What is going on? What's playing on my phone? Okay. Anyways. All right. So we'll come here. We'll delete this. And I got to think.
The influence on the gram. Next on my list for the de-influence, I hope you do this immediately.
So.
Knipex pliers.
All right, I'm gonna get rid of me holding the pliers up because that doesn't really add value. A, because some people don't know what the hell I'm holding up, and B, I think it's more impactful to just use the wording. So I'll come here.
Next on my list for the de-influence, I hope you do this immediately. Knipex pliers.
So because the pliers were still in front of my face when I started saying Knipex, I want to get rid of that. So I'm gonna purposely start the title above my face and just let the audio play in the background. And I might see what this looks like.
Influence, I hope you do this immediately. Knipex pliers.
Now let's see.
Any of their other, whether it's the Cobra.
Okay, so what I know I want to do here is I'm going to detach the audio. I want to keep the audio, but I want to get rid of the video. So I just disabled the video, but I'm keeping the audio. And so from here, we're going to go to, there's no periodic table for Knipex pliers, right? Let's see. I used to think people who EDC Knipex pliers are extra, but I got a pair to see what the hype was all about, and now they're permanently living my maintenance kit in my truck. Yeah, I have Knipex pliers in my EDC. The purpose of this video is not to say stop carrying the shit. The purpose of the video is don't feel like you need to, because of either influencers like me, other YouTubers, or because you want to take photos for the gram, feel like you need to spend money on the shit. If you want it, go buy it, right? So here we'll just put in, so we got Knipex, and for the small text, we'll just say Instagram pliers. All right, so now we're gonna get rid of the rest of this. Now I don't have any music on over this, so I have to think about
Next on my list for the de-influence, I hope you do this immediately. Knipex pliers.
Now, because I said Knipex pliers, I think we might still fuck with it. All right, so now I want to just grab some more music, because I obviously I know that I need to have another song if I'm going to be transitioning over. So the song that I had earlier, I was kind of jamming. All right, so we'll put that out onto the track. So from here, I know that the song is too loud. I just dropped it on my timeline. So what I need to do is drop it down to 35 dB to not kill people's ears on YouTube. But that section where I actually have the dead air after I say Knipex pliers, I want to duck that up. So we're going to do some audio ducking here. Well, we will purposely start about right here, and we will go a little bit until I start talking, maybe a little bit before that. So we'll bring this up to about 10 dB. So if you're listening to this on YouTube, the music will pop up. And let me see, get this here. All right. I have a pair that lives in my basic house cool. Yeah, I have them. I have some that I wore like they were completely worn out. It was pretty ridiculous how much I wore my Knipex pliers out before I bought a new pair. I just didn't know it was so trendy until I started really looking into EDC stuff. So now I have a new song picked out. Let's just see what it sounds like with the new song.
Next on my list for the de-influence, I hope you do this immediately. Knipex pliers. Whether it's the Cobra.
All right, so now I have that. I might ramp the music down a little bit more because it was kind of sudden. But anyway, I know I want to ramp the music from 12 all the way back down to 35 so you can hear what I'm saying. So same concept. So because I'm saying the words, whether you have Cobra or whether you have whatever, I want to show Cobra pliers. What I'm holding in my hand are not Cobra pliers. So what I'll do is I'll take this same exact script that I did over here. I'll copy it, and I'll come back over here, and I'll just come here.
It's the Cobra.
And then from here, I just said whether it's the Cobra. So I'll pop up on the screen that same script. And now I need to go download a picture of Knipex Cobra pliers. Obviously, Knipex Cobra. And let me even put the word EDC in there, because I know that's what a lot of folks use for that. All right, so we'll just grab a couple of like photos of some Knipex Cobra pliers, and we'll just kind of show how people are EDCing them or whatnot. And then we'll throw that into the thing as well. So we have those. And let me see. Let me throw some photos of some Knipex Cobras in here. All right, so I have this here. I want to change the photo out. So let's delete that photo. Let's change it to this Knipex. Do I like that? Well, I might use both. So we have that one that's obviously an Instagram photo. And then we have the all black, which seems to be super popular. So we'll do this one here. We'll do that Knipex on purpose. Now I want the Knipex to be a little bit bigger, so I might need to bring the video of myself down a little bit, which so I need to think about. Actually, I think that might be fine. So what we'll do is we'll do that, and then I should have copied the pop sound before I moved over, but I'll copy the pop sound as well. So let's apply this photo, and then we'll take the pop sound and we'll copy it over for the next photo that I did, and we'll bring that here. Now I want the pop sound to start about 1 or 2 frames before the photo pops up. So I'll go push the arrow button and go 2 frames over, and I'll drop the pop sound. So hopefully it kind of starts either right as the photo pops up or right before it. So,
or it's any of their other variants. It's
all right. So we have that. So we have the Cobra pliers with an EDC photo, and I'll do that a few times while I'm talking about Cobra pliers, and I'll do that for throughout the video, and it's mainly because I want to just show the why I think they should be de-influenced. But for some of this stuff, I may actually drop some B-roll of me using the pliers, because I fucking use these pliers quite often. I'll just use them. I use Knipex pliers. Matter of fact, yesterday, because I needed to adjust the height of my dryer, because we moved our washer and dryer. I changed the dryer door the way it swings open, so I wanted to change that out. But anyway, so I'll do that throughout. So as I'm talking, there's big dead air gaps. Either A, I'm thinking, or B, I'll take a break to smoke my cigar, because I'm fucking smoking a cigar. So I come here.
Them, and you're taking a fucking beautiful photo for Instagram.
So I just said the word fucking, right? And so YouTube doesn't care if you swear, but they don't really like if you swear within the first 45 seconds of the video, and they don't like if you use the F-bomb too many times throughout your video. So I just said the word fucking. So I have to think, do I want to keep that or do I want to drop it? So I have to say, what did I say before that? So
this would be significantly better if I had my Knipex pliers. No, what you're doing is.
So I could stop at the word no, and no one would care. Let's see what I say next.
What you're doing is you're getting them, you're staging them, and you're taking a fucking beautiful photo for Instagram.
So I can keep that, or I might just put no, or I might just stop at the word staging.
You're getting them, you're staging them,
and I might stop there, because then sometimes YouTube will demonetize if you say it too often. I don't know how many times I swear during this video, but I'm gonna clip that there, and I'm also gonna mark it so I can just kind of remember that I swore right there, and then I'll just continue listening to the video.
If you feel like you need them or you want them, or maybe they'll be good for your job, you're an HVAC.
Do you EDC a pry bar? Right now, normally I don't. But this company, they're called Detonation Technology. They sent this out to me. It has a dope ass sheath. They sent this out to me like 6 months ago, and it's called a digging knife. It's a pry bar, but it has an edge on it, and it's designed. Detonation Technology makes stuff for people that work with freaking explosives. This is a digging knife. This allows for you to dig in dirt if you're trying to plant some C4, get some C4 out the ground. I've been carrying this in my nutsack tote bag, and I've been enjoying this thing to open like quick packages and shit, but that's all I've been using it for. So like if I go to my post office box, someone sends me stickers or whatever, then I will normally EDC this. Also, Olight sent me their new pry bar, the O Pry 2. It's about to drop, or maybe it already dropped. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm letting the cat out the bag. I don't know. But they sent me the O Pry 2. That's in my nutsack double admin pouch. I'm just carrying it to see how I feel about it. It's been in there 2 weeks. I haven't pulled it out once. So it kind of solidifies in my head. Maybe I don't fucking need it. You know, we'll just see how that goes as well. So I'll go through and I'm kind of just saying, all right, so topic 2 was Knipex. I know I'll move on to the next topic. So the next topic I talk about is lanyards, fobs, pull things. Now I'm not totally against lanyards. I'm just against lanyards when you have a pocket clip, right? And that's just me personally. If you want lanyards, you can have lanyards. But so like for instance, Mike and I asked me earlier, he said, hey, how do you feel about this small utility blade you're carrying versus the Gerber Pry Bar X? The Gerber Pry Bar X has a lanyard on it. I'm not taking it off because it doesn't have a pocket clip. It's hard for me to get out my pocket. But that's the next topic. And then after that, I'll talk about bit drivers and I'll talk about Autumn. Let's see. Dr. Breeze says, what about the plates on your camera? Oh, what do I use for those? Oh, that's a good question. So the plates on the bottom of my cameras, I have a tool that Small Rig makes, and I just use that here in the studio. When I'm vlogging, I don't have a plate on my camera, so I don't need to worry about tightening anything. But here in the studio, that the plate on the bottom of my camera doesn't normally move, but if it does, I have a screwdriver set that Small Rig makes that I use for all my camera equipment.
I don't know. I think that a lot of us fall into this.
I'm liking the way this angle looks. I filmed in a different part of my man cave just to get this look, and I wanted to see what it would look like, and I kind of like filming in this specific area. So now I'll go throughout the rest of the video. I'm not going to do that right now, but I'll go through the rest of the video, look for dead air. This is parts when I look at my notes. So right here,
and I know
I'm looking down, and I don't like, so when I do YouTube videos, one thing I try not to do is look at the screen and look down away from the camera. I'm looking at notes for the next thing I'm about to talk about.
Hands down, and I know.
So I just grabbed the phone that I have on a little tray underneath my camera because I knew the next thing I wanted to talk about. So normally what I'll end up doing is scrapping that entire part if I can, because I don't like when I don't look at the camera lens. But most people probably won't even notice that. So I'll think about scrapping that later. And then let's see, what else do I go?
Don't feel like you need to do it. Don't run out and get 550 cord.
Okay, so now I'm talking about lanyards, and I need to do the same thing with the lanyard section. So that's basically, guys, you know, because I'm going to do that 3 more times. I don't know if you guys want to see me do that 3 more times, but I think that it says, okay, thanks for answering my question. Pry bar maybe not be. Some people need it. One of my buddies works. He owns a pool company, and he's always using a pry bar. Like if he's doing a demo on a pool and he needs to take the towel off a pool, he'll just pull his pry bar out and chip off a few pieces of towel if he's using if he doesn't want to go get his SDS hammer or something like that. So, you know, I know he uses his all the time. I work from home, and I have a hoarder house, so I'm always using my tools. So you may see at the very beginning of this video, if you look at the wall, if you look at the very back of that wall, there's some white patches on the wall. I had to patch some holes. This is a hoarder house, so I took some old shit off the wall. I patched it up, and tomorrow I'm gonna sand that down. But I'm always using my EDC stuff around the house to make repairs to this house. But it's not necessarily something that it's like a must-have or something I absolutely have to do. So that's kind of my workflow. This video is about 13 minutes right now. But by the time I get done getting rid of all this dead air, getting rid of parts that I don't think add value, maybe cutting out cuss words and cutting out me taking puffs of the cigar, it's probably going to be below 10 minutes. But that's kind of my flow, is I'll go through and make all those edits, and I'll just show you kind of what it looks like from the beginning. So let's go to here and share my screen. Okay, so we'll go here and just kind of show you what it looks like from the beginning and how it's going to flow, and then we'll go from there. So let's turn off the music for the stream. Let's go.
What's going on, YouTube? Marine X back at it again. Let's talk about de-influencing. This is This is something I talked about in the past. I link up previous videos when I basically just kind of poo-pooed some of your favorite items, and this is just more stuff added to the list. Everybody seems to be an influencer nowadays. Some stuff has reached max peak influence, like I guess myself would be considered an influencer, but some of the stuff you just don't need, or you may feel pressured that you need it because of Instagram or Twitter or X or whatever the hell they're calling it nowadays. And I'm here to say you don't need the stuff. If you want the stuff, get the stuff. If you have the stuff and you feel a little bit butthurt about the stuff that I'm saying, then go pound sand. But other than that, this is just, me saying that we can de-influence some of this crap, because at the end of the day, it's more of a fad, in my opinion, than anything else. And this is just looking at history. The first thing that I would have to mention, hands down, would be titanium everything. Now, don't get it twisted. I sell a titanium whistle on my website. I carried a titanium knife last week. I got titanium shit. What I mean by de-influencing it is like, I don't feel the need to not only carry the crap, but take the most beautiful, perfect photo, get that thing on Instagram.
So as I go through and listen to this, I'm thinking like, okay, I think I want to add something here, add something there, cut something out. I want to see how these photos pop up here in a second.
So that you yourself may decide to do the same thing. My titanium knife has all sorts of snail trails and usage and has been through all sorts of hell. Anything else that I carry, if it makes a photo, if it makes it something like that, I'm not trying to influence you to make that purchase. A lot of folks that are.
All right, so I know I want to do that throughout. So that's basically my editing workflow. So I'll go through, I'll make those major cuts of where I'm breathing. How much do I want the audience to just literally watching me run my grape versus bringing in more photos. So from when I had this graphic of the titanium everything all the way to that first photo, that was nearly like 45 seconds. That's too long for me. So I'll probably put more graphics in there, or I might even zoom the camera in and out. So the way I think I have this set up now, let me see. So I filmed this pretty close on purpose. I might have enough room where I can zoom out or zoom in just to give different effects. So let me try this. So if I come here and can I zoom out? Do I have any room for that? No, I don't. Okay, but I can zoom in. So there's different things I can do to kind of reframe it. So I can zoom into my face, zoom out a little bit. I can also do things like shift where the camera's pointing at. So I can shift the camera to the right and here. So for instance, I may decide just to give a little bit of subtle movement to this because it's a little boring. I might come here and I may decide, okay, well, let's move this frame. So we'll reset this to 0. All right, so we'll decide to move this frame, and I want to move the frame where it slowly zooms in on my face, just to get a little bit of movement for the audience so that they're not just literally watching me run my grape. So I'll come here, I'll do a little bit of keyframing, and I'll purposely zoom in on my face. So let me delete this, and we'll come here, and then we're gonna zoom in on my face just to give a little bit of so we'll come in and possibly shift this over a little bit. So it'll be subtle, but while I'm talking, the camera should zoom in a little bit.
I carried a titanium knife last week.
So just to give a little bit of movement, I'll do that throughout the video as well, where I'll start it at one part and I'll bring the camera in a little bit different just to move it on a little bit. But just to be able to give a little bit of movement on the screen, give a little bit of photos on the screen. And as you see, the flag kind of shifts out the way to the left part of the frame, and it zooms in on my face, and then it jumps back. Just to, just stuff like that to kind of make it a little bit interesting. So if you guys want to get into stuff like this, just remember, you're trying to tell a story, you're trying to go through a workflow, and whatever you do to tell your story, you're trying to keep people on your video so that they can get the information. So this video is not going to have chapter markers on YouTube. I want you to watch the whole thing. So I have to think about, well, what am I going to do to keep people watching? And subtle movement like that is something I need to do. Bringing up photos is something I need to do. I might even do stuff like where I might come here and I may decide to, I've done this before in videos, where I will purposely drop on top of myself a swirl motion. So I'll come here and I'll do something like, and I can come through and swirl the camera around. I can even do something like the clone footage. And so I can come through here and I will detach the audio and I can get rid of that.
Sweet.
And then
I
just
got
come
titanium shit.
where I purposely may keep the actual, I can put the footage just in that bubble. So let me bring this back. So I may decide to put the footage in a smaller bubble, which I've done before, or I can, there's a lot of different effects I can do throughout a video just to kind of keep people's attention. I may also purposely drop letterbox over my face while I'm talking. So that kind of just brings people into attention as well. So say for instance, I'm sitting here, I'm talking, running my mouth. I can bring in, after the titanium, I may decide, well, let me just drop letterbox over my face just to get a little bit of this.
Shit. What I mean by de-influencing it is,
so I bring in letterbox here, and I might just decide to do something like simply drop my Instagram name or something like that. But just a little bit of movement on the screen will kind of keep people figuring out what's going on. So here I might decide to drop this on top as well, and I'll drop it, bring this over here. And then once the logo's there, I'll decide, okay, let me bring this down. I'll change the logo to Instagram, and I may make it a little bit bigger. But on the right, so now on the screen, letterbox just dropped in, and I can come here. I can do something like just put the Marine X. Actually, I can't even remember if my shit is X like that. But anyway, and then now on the screen just pops up.
What I mean by de-influencing it is like, I don't feel
that, and then I might even say, hey, you know what? I don't like the way that looks. I might just decide to take the Marine X part and shift it and rotate it, and then bring it down next to the word, to the Instagram logo. So I may hate it all together. So we can get rid of that, and we may decide, okay, let's just do this Instagram logo instead. We can come down.
De-influencing it is like,
and then we'll bring this one over here, make it a little bit bigger, put that there, and then just simply put my Instagram handle on here. And then from there, I can drop Marine X into the letterbox, and then I can also move it a little bit closer to the Instagram logo. So just there's subtle movement on the screen throughout the video. I can do the same thing with Twitter. That line that's on there, I can get rid of the line if I don't like the way it looks, or I can drop the line down lower. So actually, I don't even know if I like the way that line looks. Anyway, I could drop the line down lower. So I'll drop it down maybe below or right above the Instagram logo. And
what I mean by de-influencing it is like, I don't feel the need to not only carry the crowd.
So I could do stuff like that throughout the video just to give subtle movement to kind of keep people watching. There's music going on in the background. There's photos popping up on the screen. But talking head videos are some of the hardest videos to keep people retained unless they just fucking really want to know what you're talking about. And I'm not giving information like how to. This is not a how-to video. This is a rant video, really. So in order to keep it moving, you kind of got to keep things going throughout. So those are subtle movements that I might make while I'm actually editing this video, just to give a little bit of a flair to the video. So hopefully that was some, hopefully that was instructional for you guys, man. It was something interesting for you guys to kind of check out. And you guys enjoyed it. I don't know. What do you think about that, man? Hopefully y'all had a good old time. And let's see what's going on with this chat real quick. But I just wanted to kind of just show my flow and just kind of see what's going on there. Dr. Breezy says, I respect the amount of work that actually goes into making a YouTube video. A lot of people don't realize how tedious and daunting the whole editing process can be. It is. It's an interesting thing for real. This is my second YouTube channel. My first one was a daily vlog channel, which I shut down. I had like 6,000 or 7,000 subscribers, but fucking daily vlogging is hard as fuck. But that channel taught me how to grind through and edit. So now I put out videos maybe every 5 to 7 days, but I know how I want to edit my videos where it kind of just goes a little bit faster. I'm gonna keep this live stream up so folks can watch it tomorrow or whatever. But just kind of, give folks an opportunity to see how to do stuff like that. I might even drop B-roll on top if I want to. So for instance, let's go back here. So if we got the, let me see if I have, okay. So let's say for instance, I want to drop some B-roll on here. So let's go to I have a video coming up for the nutsack admin bag, but let's just say, for instance, I want to drop some B-roll on top of this. This obviously is not going to be in this video, but where's some good B-roll of that? All right, so if I really wanted to, all right, so if I really want to, I can also do things like just drop a little B-roll on top. So for instance, I want to just drop this right on top of the footage that I have. I'll get rid of the sound. This footage is obviously washed out because I filmed it in S-Log, so I just have to go through and change that and give it some color. So we'll do that. So I put the color back in the video. So if I were talking about this bag, which I'm not, I could do something like drop B-roll right on top of the footage, just to keep it interesting for people as well. So I might do the same thing where I drop B-roll of some of the footage that I'm talking about directly on top of the video and then go back to the talking head. So that's another thing you can do as well. You've seen that obviously on plenty of videos on YouTube, but it just kind of gives you a bit of flair to see how people go through their edit process. So I might do that as well, but just kind of keep people engaged when you're making your edits, guys. And talking head, this is an EDC talking head, but you can do the same thing for tech. If you're talking about freaking sewing or how to put together something or whatever you're talking about, just try to mix it up a little bit. Just those subtle edits, people will kind of be a little bit more retained, man. And hopefully you guys got a little bit out of this. And says really cool to see your edit workflow. I always wonder how y'all edit a video. Yeah, it's a I've done this before. Members, I haven't done it in like 6 months. I've done a members only edit. That was like a 3 or 4 hour video, a live stream, because I was getting up and getting something to drink and stuff like that. This one's a little bit shorter, but I just wanted to show you guys kind of how I go, guys. I appreciate y'all stopping by for another one. I'm about to go to bed because this is not dropping till tomorrow afternoon, so I can fucking edit this shit in the morning. Just wanted to show you how it goes. So more than welcome to check this shit out before. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video. We're gonna push this shit back out in the algorithm. Thanks for stopping by, watching me run my grape once again. We will speak soon.